Hey guys, and welcome back. This is MattyIce. Originally, years ago, I did a teardown on my PS3, just a fat model. It was just a basic, how-to in cleaning, and we were seeing if we could improve the thermals on this thing. And we found the thermal paste was in there, and it was really dusty, and we basically cleaned her, got her running up to snuff, and it's been good ever since. I haven't been playing the PS3 a lot, so imagine, I don't know, everyone's surprised when I came across one for sale, and it was on Facebook Marketplace, and I got a heck of a deal. I got another PlayStation 3. How about that, guys? And this one, though, is absolutely filthy. It also came with a PlayStation 2 that's back here and a whole bunch of games and some memory cards, controllers. It was a nice pickup. Whenever you buy these type of things, you have to be very cognizant of what you're doing. I didn't have a chance to test any of this, so I might actually have two bad systems. I started thinking the deal wasn't so great when I got home, and I found most of the CD, DVDs that they gave me in here were completely, roached out and like semi-destroyed. Most of these games are like complete, but some of these games, man, there's some weird stuff going on. If you can, it's hard to see on the back there, but this one it just looks like someone went at it with sandpaper. And I don't know what they did. They like colored the front of this CD, if you guys can see that. The DVD logo's pink. It's not supposed to be pink. That's definitely something that was put on after the fact. You might be asking me which model this is. This isn't going to be one of the later ones for the fat run. This is going to be, let's see, this is a G model, CECHG01. Alright, I know that might be a little bit hard to make out, but if you're on your mobile device or something, zoom in a little bit, but there you go, that's the serial number. And I don't know if you guys can tell just looking in those ports right there. Oh boy. This thing, I have not opened it up yet, and I don't believe anyone's been in this one before because looking, it's still got the warranty sticker there. I wasn't able to test it there, so I don't even know if this power's on. And I figured rather than powering it on completely filthy and roached out with God knows what's inside of it, because it even has a little bit of a musty smell to it, so I'm afraid it sat in a basement and maybe like a damp cardboard box, because they said when I got this, it was the whole front was coated in brown sticky dirt and gunk. So I honestly don't know what the story was here. Lucky me. So let's start breaking this down. I'm gonna swip you guys over so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, and here we go looking at the back of the system. Now it is a little bit different than my other system. This G system, my other system is a K, for example, and it's got a little bit of a difference here. Slight design change. There's on my old model, my original one, I do not have a vent here. But this one also contains a much larger vent in the back, and they also flipped the positioning of the HDMI and all the ports. Here's the back of this one. As you can see, they flipped those ports, and there's a much shorter vent, and it's like cut into two. Now what Sony does, they make these incremental changes and just keep re-releasing things, probably to cut costs. Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to void the warranty on this PS3. I know. And oh, she's not gonna want to come off. Come on. I was gonna say, I thought I could maybe pick around it, but man, this rubber is like deteriorated. And this stuff feels like it's gone. I just want to get that sticker up enough. There we go. I didn't want to destroy that rubber. Oh, there goes our warranty. Such a shame. C'est la vie, guys. C'est la vie. Get our pick in here. So I got these nice pry tools now. I don't have to worry about using. Oh, screwdriver. Man, this one's stuck in there. You can tell this has never been out before. Okay, so prying it out was not working, so I just grabbed some needle nosers, and we will pull. My goodness, look at this thing, guys. It is clinging on for dear life. There we go. Ooh, yeah. It's supposed to be like a slightly soft rubber. It is hard as a rock. It's really seen better days. Okay, and then inside there, we'll have a security. Hopefully it's one of these bits. There we go. T10, guys, with the security to get this out, in case you were wondering. Now, that's the other thing I don't know. I think we're pretty much gonna, as we drop our bit, there we go. Got that screw out. So as we go through this, I'm also gonna have to try and figure out what's different between my PS3 that I have back here and this new one. So if this is like that other one, all I should need to do at this point is slide this cover to take it off. And man, she feels like she's in there. There we go. She released. I also hear something rattling around in here, so that's not very confidence inspiring. So I thought maybe I was the first one in here, but something's happened to this. I mean, that warranty sticker's on here, so there's no other way for someone to get in. But look at this, guys. There's damage to these little pieces right here. They're actually, this one's mostly snapped off, that one's snapped off, and this one's, I'd say, 98% gone. There's like just a little bit in this one too. So someone possibly dropped this unit. I've already cleaned off the outside cover. As you can see, it's, yeah, look at that, guys. That looks like what the, you know, the CD games that I got turned out like. It's, you know, it'll probably buff out to some extent. Ooh. Well, I think I figured out what one of those plastic things was. There comes one. So maybe those little bits broke off. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Well, we shall see. But just like on the other one, we have very nice labeling right here to tell us where to go next. Tells you what to take out. So let's start taking things out. And this is going to be just a standard screwdriver. We will have screws right here, in this corner. Got one up here too. One right here, one right here. And I think that one right there is the last one. The one over here in the top corner, just I'm pointing at right here, it's like on the other PS3, there is going to be short screws. So the rest are long, and this is a short one in the corner. Just remember that, guys. And I have this nice mat now that's anti-static. I'm not wearing the anti-static bracelet. I'm still not about that lifestyle, guys. Sorry. Nothing against people who wear them, but I've got better things to do with my life than worry about that crap. Let's see. That fits. Perfect. A little bit awkward to work with. There we go. Oh boy. Wow. So, I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. But just looking at this thing, the amount of dirt and dust in here is kind of gross. So it's, yeah, it's gnarly. That's all coated. That's all coated. And then look at that. That's just the vent side, and that's all the dust and dirt that's been getting crammed up in there. Man. Before we get too much further, let's clean this up first. So we will move this aside. What we're going to use to clean these are just going to be some simple things. I've got some water with Dawn dish detergent in it, distilled water, very important. And then I've got a clean cup of water, distilled again, to wash everything off on. And then I've got some cleaning alcohol wipes and some 91% IPA that I'll use to clean the more important stuff. So for plastic components like this, I'm fine just using these 75% alcohol wipes, and then we will use the more advanced stuff where we need to. Nice clean alcohol, good smell. So since this is just plastic in here, I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down, because that'll grab most of the dirt that I'm looking to get off, and anything residue wise, make sure we're going to get inside this little CD DVD area right here. Then we'll move along to the dust down here. Just wipes away, it's just dust, guys. Okay, so the top is clean, so we'll set that aside. Now, let's get back into this junk. So, disk drive right here. It doesn't look bad. I don't see any scorching on it. I don't see any burn marks. I don't see any rust. Power supply shroud right here where they had the, the guts. I don't see anything wrong over here either. So we'll just take, ooh, that just felt like sandpaper wiping on here. But like I said, this system came out over a decade ago at this point. So it's bound to have some dirt, unless this was like new old stock that was never got used or delivered or something. All right, take a quick wipe at these front grates too, because they are filthy. Look at that. That is some gnarliness. Okay, so let's take out our DVD. Now be careful. There is a ribbon cable right here that you need to release. And then we also have a cable right here. Wow, these cables feel extremely brittle. Like this system was on the verge of overheating. I do not like that. But these little ribbon cables right here can be wiggled out. You just want to be careful. It slides out very gently. And as far as this one goes, this should just pull off. Just gently wiggle it back and forth. Yeah, man, I do not like how these cables feel. These feel like they're in extremely poor condition. They should be slightly bendable, but I mean, these are almost hard, like a rock. Another good shot of all this dirt in here. Take this opportunity to wipe it up. Oh yeah, she sounded sharp. Next step, we are going to be disconnecting a couple things. So, over here, we've got our power supply. Power supply is held on by several screws, 2 over here. And I believe we have 2 or 3, and we got 1, 2, 3 right here. So we're going to have over here, it's our Wi-Fi module at the top by my finger. This is soldered right here and runs all the way up front to the control unit. It's just a tiny little cap right here. This just wiggles off very gently. We just give it, there you go. Just a little bit of wiggling and it will come off. So we need to have that disconnected. And then let's disconnect this power supply right here as well. Okay, now there's another ribbon cable right here. I've got a tiny little dust bunny right there. I'll get the old void sticker and pick it up with that. We want to make sure this ribbon cable is also detached, so all right, and she's free. So I like to have those disconnected just in case I forget when I'm working on things, because you know how it is. You're working on taking out a screw and you're like, let's just move on to the next part and start, doing other stuff, and you get in trouble. I got one right here. Let's see if I turn it this way. Yeah, that's probably better for you guys to see. All right, next we'll just move right along this side. Take this boy out. Oh, this boy got some tension to him. There we go. First time out on some of these. They might still be a little bit frisky from their previous torque specs. Oh, and I dropped that one too. There we go. But like I said, all the screws look like they're good. It just looks like it's it's lived a full life and no one's really taking care of it. My God. Oh, that one was in there good too. Cheese and crackers. Okay. All right. Oh man, we got actually 4 screws on this side. I don't remember that from the previous one. And I've actually got a hidden screw there, but that's not part of this. So let's start taking them apart. Whatever. C'est la vie. And I'm also assuming a lot of stuff here. I'm assuming that since this has been presumably off for a long time, that it's safe, but you should probably never do that. But God only knows, so. Alright, we'll put these all in the same bin since they go in the same place. This one. Oh, there we go. Crack that baby loose. There we go. Sorry, guys. I know it's hard to do this when you're filming by yourself and you only got 2 hands. Yeah, that's definitely the right size, but my God, that's a beefy bolt or screw. Has a beefy screw, guys. Come on. There we go. She's a longie. Good condition as well. Okay, so with that, I believe this should be free now. We've also made sure, remember, we disconnected our cable that runs over to the controller unit and the Wi-Fi module. So we'll also, forgot to show this part. For the Wi-Fi module, as you see right here, we run over to a piece of tape. We are going to have to remove that tape because that would potentially cause an issue. I think I might do this part first. I'm having fun. And I hope you guys are too. Or else I don't know why the hell you're watching this video. Okay, so power supply. Rocking her out of the way. I've almost forgot this little cable here. See, that's what I was saying, guys. You start rushing and you start forgetting things, but okay. Bottom of the power supply is in good shape. I don't see any corrosion in there on the contacts. There's no bulging, there's no leaking. There is quite a bit of dust in here. I might need to get some condensed air and blow that out. But other than that, this is actually very promising. I was worried there was going to be an issue here. There's our power supply connector. I don't see anything except dust, which is a great sign. Okay, next, let's take off some other parts. Like I said, this is a lot of tear down. I'm going slow because I like talking to you guys. I like, just experiencing things, and this little controller module right here is definitely one of them. It is fun to experience because it's kind of a unique way of handling this through a ribbon cable, whereas a lot would just have a little onboard chip nowadays to control everything. There we go. That's it. And I don't see any signs of any leaks. Our contact ends are a little dirty. That's not ideal. We do have some discoloration around here. All of these chips seem to be in good shape. I'm not seeing any of the little lights right here. It doesn't look like we have any issues there. This is going to be able to be cleaned up with a little bit of IPA, the 91%, and a cotton swab. Looking down here underneath the ribbon cable is in good shape right here. I was worried it had little lines on it, but it's still flexible and it feels like it's in good shape, but just dirty in here. Quick wipe down with one of our cloths. Okay, that's good enough for now. We'll worry about getting it perfect in a little bit. So, next part is going to be removing this little Wi-Fi thing. We could have done it earlier. It's right over here. It's just a single screw. Go carefully. I think this is like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all integrated in one, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, be very careful with this cable. We do not want to kink this. Chips in good condition, contacts in good condition. Yeah, that one looks amazing so far. I'm gonna set that one way off to the side. So we're on the actual board. What actually, or sorry, shroud for the board. So we need to take out screws. And again, Sony did us a big favor by putting little arrows. I don't know if you guys can see those. Get little tiny arrows pointing to what we need to do. And we get a close-up of one right there. You see that? That's actually an arrow that's pointing to the screw. So that tells us what we need to take out. What's remaining to take out? One screw right here. One screw here. One screw in the far corner. One screw here. One screw directly next to the ribbon cable. One screw in the terminal end. One screw down by the power supply prongs where it actually fit on. And I think that's it. And then we have these little support brackets right here. Those might also have to come off at this point. I can't remember. We will figure it out though. So let's start up here and work our way around. So let's see if this will all lift up. There we go. Okay, so we separated the two halves. There's the bottom half, nice and filthy. Come to that in just a second. Hey, look at that. We got another piece of plastic to fall out of here. Okay, so let's get back to these metal tabs real quick because they are holding us up. It's gonna say I need to like a little bit of, there we go. Bottom of the shroud looks good. Okay, and then here's our board. Look at this beautiful board. It is a very nice, pleasing looking board. And we've still got lots of positive stuff here. I'm not seeing really any discoloration on the contacts or in the edges. None of the chips look worn. Thermal pads are still in place, which is all good. Yeah, everything's looking very, very nice. I am seeing yet again some more discoloration down here around the edges, which is not great. It's probably a sign that this board has been subjected to some high heat. As you can see, it's almost like some scorching. Not the end of the world. And then on the bottom, here's our fan and everything. It is really filthy. Okay, all right. I did a bit of cleaning on that piece of plastic, got it nice, and I did use my toothbrush with a little bit of the soapy water. And then we got some of our IPA in a cotton ball right here. There you go, the 91%. Let's clean at this a little bit, see if we can't get this looking a lot better before we move on to other things, because this should come fairly clean. There's nothing really super filthy, it looks like. Oh, this little thing right here. I think that might be one of the indicator lights to the front. Looks like it's seen some better days. You could see all that crap just falling off of there. And look at that. That's nasty. Let's get a new cotton ball. Now, I normally don't like cotton balls, but I realized while I was beginning this one that I did not have any cotton swabs left. That's normally what I default to. So, there we go. Nice, gentle streaks. So get the top of those. It says look good. Okay, and I did try to wipe at a little bit of this darkening, and we'll just quickly go over the board because it was a little bit dusty. I'm not rubbing very hard, but yeah, this little indicator light, it's a bit corroded looking, which is not unusual for these units. That's right up front. So even just normal day-to-day stuff, that's where moisture comes in at. And this is one reason I don't like cotton balls, because they leave fibers all over the place, which we don't want. All right, this one's still pretty good, so I'm just gonna do a quick stroke gently on any of the chips or little relay capacitors, whatever. All right, very gentle. Alright, now that top's a little bit darkened too. It doesn't seem to be anything that I'm going to be able to clean up though. It looks like that's just something that, although this one looks like it's coming out a little bit. Yeah, it's shined up a little bit. It was a little bit dirty. Something got on it and caused it to discolor. I don't know what that was. Okay, so let's finish up. A couple more little tiny strokes around here to get off any dirt, because residual dirt in here will cause, dirt causes heat to be retained. It's not, the end of the world, but all right, we got a tiny little dust bunny. There we go. I just like to go over the stuff real quick. Flip that up. Nothing in there of note, so that's good. That's where the ribbon cable will go later. Okay, this one's a little discolored too. I wonder if I can work that around a little bit and make it shine. Yeah, it looks a lot better, guys. It's actually fairly shiny right now. Okay, all those I cleaned up pretty good, but I've never seen these units actually have much trouble. It's usually on the board where you start to see stuff. So post-editing that, thinking about this, I'm gonna start calling these series where I get these things that I buy or maybe find for free that are just really dirty, really nasty. I'm gonna call it Can We Fix This Crap? Or Fix This Crap. So if you want to look up a new series for me, Fix This Crap is gonna be that series on MattyIce Reviews. And let's hopefully, this PS3 is some crap that we can fix. It's the next day, I've gotten a haircut. Lots of things that happen, YOLO once. She went out and bought some Q-tips. So I got those little precision ones. And I figure before we get any further on this top, we can kind of go around some of these parts. And you guys can get some nice, look at all that. See, there's something right here on the board. I don't know what this is, and it's suspicious. It looks a little bit like some type of water damage, especially the way it's coming off, because it's sticky and it leaves a little bit of a residue. So, I wanted to show you guys that even though this looked mostly good, that doesn't mean there isn't something hiding in here. I don't mind a little cleanup, but at a certain point, I'm like, come on, these people had to have known. Although they weren't in this system before, so, all right. So I'm just taking a Q-tip with some IPA on there, and we're gonna rub her in there and see if we can't clean that up. See, we've got a whole bunch of filth and dirt in this contact. And that's one of the more reliable ways to test these systems. If you don't want to pair a USB controller to them, you just basically get one of those controllers they sold at, oh man, yeah, see how filthy that is? It's all discolored now at the tip. And yeah, you can use one of those cheapy little plug-in controllers, and it makes testing these very easy, because then you don't have to worry about pairing or anything. And that can eliminate some issues. I'll tell you, yeah, those look a lot better already. Those, I can actually see the contacts are shining in there, so everything looks really nice. Oh, there we go. Okay, so before I do the hard drive, let's separate the back panel. Okay, and yeah, here's where the power plugs in and everything. Oddly enough, the power input doesn't look terrible. It's got a little bit of dust and dirt in there. I mean, we'll run a quick Q-tip around it. This one's still good on the one side. All right, there we go. Get her all nice and shiny. We like them shinies. I feel like I'm playing Dark Souls, talking about all these shinies that I'm getting. Dark Souls 2, wasn't that the one with the shinies? Give me shiny. Woo-hoo, give us smooth. Give us smooth. Woo-hoo. They never said what those creatures were that you had to give those items in Dark Souls. I mean, that was one of my favorite PS3 games. The original Dark Souls. I did like Demon Souls as well. I haven't played the re-release, unfortunately. But I always thought that those are very unique games. Nothing quite like it out there. I tried Neo. I tried Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, anyone who says those are Souls-like is, you're full of it. There's nothing quite like that Souls atmosphere where they really don't explain everything and no one's quite sure how everything in the game works or what the lore is, because I don't even think that people who created the game know what the lore is. I think they just make it up. They're like, let's put tentacles and, you know, a pair of pink wings on this guy, and he's going to be the Lord of Cinder. Uncle who lived in the Panphalantic Tower of Dragon Proud, and of course he's got a chorus of singing monks that surround him and cause him to glow pink every fourth or fifth beat of the song, and that's the only time you can damage him. I mean, it's just like they have a dartboard of things that they, you know, they like, oh, there's a perfect Dark Souls character idea. And they throw just random ideas at a board and pick out a full, and they're like, boom, job done. Reminds me of that, I believe it was that moment on South Park where they go to find the manatees and they're making all the Family Guy jokes. Okay, so we're back here, and as you can see, so we got the blue one, and I think we should be able to pull this up. I hope I don't have to release those other ones, but this is a little pull tab to get it out, but those ones might just actually be holding the hard drive in there, and I wasn't like taking the hard drive out or anything. Okay, place your bets. What size hard drive do we have here? Going off of what I know, it's probably a 60 model. So let's see if we got lucky and we got a high storage one like an 80. Okay guys, here you go. No such luck. It's hard to see on there, guys, but this is actually a 40 gigabyte model. Not great news. Although from what I know, these 40 gigabyte models are some of the most reliable. The 80 gigabytes apparently had a high probability of burning out, even though you got that extra storage. They created a whole lot of extra heat, so they weren't, I guess, necessarily the best way of addressing these. I wish someone would come out with a reliable method for taking these and being able to put solid state drives in here. I know most of the games wouldn't be able to take advantage of that, but it would drastically improve load times if nothing else. There's the inside of the cage, pretty normal. Looks like we just got some dust bunnies poking through it, but we'll deal with that in just a second. Let's put our hard drive screw over here so we don't lose it. Okay, now we have to be very careful and flip over to this side so you guys can see the back with a fan. So here's the back with the fan, all the fins. These are all extremely dirty again, so we got a lot of work cut out here, but we're gonna have to separate these pieces so we can get the fan shroud out, and then we can actually turn over and release the board. So a little bit more work to do here and get it over with, because that's easy. All right, we got one coming. It looks like there's only three total screws in here. I can't count. My God, I'm like having a freaking stroke. Now we can also unplug the fan and totally separate it. If you want to unplug the fan, follow the cable right down to here, and we have a little white connector that just pulls right out. Now, my ultimate goal, because I know these fans in here are just absolute trash. They're made to run at one speed, and I think they're like a 12 volt 2 amp or something, but there's all kinds of different models, and there's some that are good and some that are not as good, and you can tell by the amount of fins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 being the most common and the most likely to experience issues. Unfortunately for us, I was hoping we would have a better one. There's apparently an 18 fin model that's really nice. It doesn't necessarily improve performance that much. I think one of my goals for this system, I bought this Noctua fan a while ago. I don't know if it's compatible with this system, but this is one of their industrial models. And I thought, man, it's sized similar to this fan. I wonder if we could just, you know, funky this boy up in there and make him do some work. This thing can put out 3,000 and it just absolutely, it's a 3000 PMW, sorry. But this thing absolutely moves air. It is not quiet, but I was hoping that maybe it would be, you know, a cooler option, and it's a good quality fan. All right, guys, so off camera, I cleaned up the fan a little bit. Look at that, looking pretty good. Still get a couple dust bunnies, but I'm happy enough with it. Now, I tilted this back down so I could show you guys, and the board separated from the heat shield. And what I saw underneath has me extremely suspicious. Let me just, a couple more dust bunnies right there. I'm a little bit worried right now about what I just saw underneath there. So, you guys remember my PlayStation from years past, when I did my video. If you haven't, you know, check it out. It'll obviously be a link to that in the description. But I went in there and found thermal paste that ended up looking like more or less a, look at that dust bunny that came out of there. An old caulking compound. It was hard, it was crispy, it was crumbly. That's what happens to these systems. Something's not right here. This system was either not used, I don't know why it has burn marks, and then it has marks up here for where some liquid was spilled on it. I don't know what's going on anymore. Look at this. This thermal paste is still completely tacky. I mean, it's a little bit dried out, but look at this. Tell me someone hasn't been in here and tried to replace the thermal paste. Our Sony CR230, that looks like it's original actually, so I guess that's a little bit of good news. I'm looking at the underside and I'm not seeing any burnt chips or anything. The capacitors all look like they're still in good shape, but man, when I see that, I start getting suspicious that something's going on. We're gonna take off this thermal paste and replace it, even though it looks good. I just, God knows what they used. I've got Arctic silver here, so we'll use that stuff. Gotta be careful with it though, don't wanna get that in the board and short anything. But this will take a little bit to get it off. Okay, so that's looking good. This is removing all the thermal right here. And this thermal pad's not looking right. It's looking a little gooey itself. And we'll clean it up real quick and wipe it down, but it looks like it was sweating a little bit. I know those tend to do that, but not to that extent. I mean, a little bit of glistening's okay, but that seemed like an awful lot. I don't know, it's just me. Okay, let's just quickly pick up our dust bunnies. And I am not going to take these apart. There's no real reason. I'll just need to apply the thermal paste to this side and we'll be good. Alright guys, so here we are back. I cleaned that up real quick. So let's, I got my Arctic Silver on here. Now let's just do, normally I'm a grain of rice person, but let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do a little circle in the middle. There we go. That should spread out nice and evenly. Hey, we'll just do one of these crazy patterns on that side. Do a crazy one over here. It's our chance to experiment with this one. Like I said, this is our little experimental PS3. So we got one that's got crazy stuff on it. We got one that's got little globs like here and there. But yeah, so on the board side, we've got our little kind of grain of rice, and one's more like a pea now that I kind of smashed it right there, and we're gonna reinstall these. Okay, it'll be interesting to see if the PS3 enjoys having all that thermal paste on it. I honestly don't know if it's going to have issues with that or not. Okay, so now we're going to go about reassembling this. I am going to quickly do that, and then we will come back when we're reassembled. Alright guys, so we're reassembled, and I moved back over to my TV area, and as you can see, we got a good sign right off the bat. I plugged it in, turned on the power switch, and we have a red light, which means there is power going to it. One issue though, I only have my one original PS3 controller, and I don't know where the cord was for it, so I'm trying another USB-A style A, and it's just not working, so we're gonna have to just see if it spins up. So I'm gonna hit the power button and see if she tries to come on. Okay, good news. Blue and green. That is very good news. That means this is most likely working. So let's zoom back out, and let's switch over to, I think that's on my first input. I'm on the second one right now. Let's see if we're getting the splash screen. We are. Oh my god. Wow. Well, that's creepy. This must be information from the last people that I'm just gonna have to delete, but that's weird. Alright guys, so it's the next day, and I found my controller, my USB one, and we are going to see if this works with games now. So let's turn it back on. Sorry, we turned off the power last night. Alright, so there's a red light. Turn it on. And I didn't check to see if there's any games in the drive, so. Oh my god, there was. I was not expecting that. Well, we're now the proud owners of another copy of Mass Effect 2. This one's probably the best conditioned game they gave me. Wow. This keeps on giving. So we're actually going to use Mass Effect 2 then. That disk drive didn't sound super great, so let's get our controller. I also brought a copy of Catherine. I don't even know. I'm just checking to see if we've got normal functionality. Wow, they've got some stuff on here. Terraria, Reckoning, Minecraft. Okay, very cool. Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials. Wow, they had some downloaded movies too, and some photos. Oh goodness. We're gonna clear all this out. You should never sell a console with your data on it. I'm gonna put Mass Effect 2 back in, and let's see if we can't get Mass Effect 2 to load up here and see if the disc will spin up. There we go. It looks like it's taking. You know, it's looking good so far. We got the splash screen. Now is it going to take into the actual game? The disc was a little bit scratchy, but it looks like everything's functioning just as it should. Well, that's very encouraging. So I'm going to call this one a win. We'll make sure it gets to the actual menu though. Yeah, everything's working so far right here. You know, I think this was a good deal for an extra PS3, and I have to say so far it's been pretty nice. Okay guys, so that was the PS3. I really like that G series, a lot more straightforward than my K series, easy to work on. Everything was just a couple bolts away, and I think those people that sold it maybe had a dirty system, maybe it thermal locked at some point. I don't know why that thermal paste was like that inside. I'm still a little bit worried about that. Maybe it wasn't used that much, but I gotta imagine anyone that owns 4 copies of MX ATV 2 would have played the crap out of those. Why would you have 4 copies otherwise? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be another good system to have around the house as a backup, and I can do experiments on it. And like I said, I want to work out something where I try a different fan in there. Even though this fan's pretty quiet, I think it would be interesting to see if that helps improve the performance. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just a PS3 that I picked up. It's nothing that I'm gonna have to worry about. All right, so that was the first episode of Can We Fix This Crap? And yes, we fixed that crap. So we will see you in the next one, guys. I've still got the PS2 that I picked up to clean, and I've got another surprise project downstairs in the garage that we're going to be working on. It's going to be involving a gas pressure washer that I found on the side of the road. So all right, guys, that does it for this one, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good night.